Hi all, welcome to GrapeCity Documents webinar. I'm pleased to announce the new V6 release, and today I will be covering key highlights from the release. My name is Shilpa Sharma. I'm product manager for GrapeCity Documents. If you have any feedback on the new features, please email me on this address. So before I move on with the agenda of the webinar, let me give you an overview of what GrapeCity Documents is about. So with trillions of data flowing over the web, you need tools to extract data or work with data, or tools that can help you convert data into meaningful documents of certain format, or tools that can help you load those documents, modify, save them back. So you want to store these documents for long-term usage or share within the organization or share over the web. So GrapeCity Documents is a set of document APIs that helps to create those documents, edit them and save them back. And also help you to convert documents of one format to another. All this you can do within .NET application or Java application. And files like Excel, PDF, images, and docx files, these are the file formats that are supported. These APIs do not depend on Acrobat or MS Office Suite. Also included are document viewers for PDF, images, Excel, CSV, and spreadsheet files. Document APIs and viewers included in GrapeCity Documents are GrapeCity Documents for PDF or a GCPDF. This is our PDF API to helps to work with PDF documents, and included within this package is GrapeCity Documents PDF Viewer or GcPDF It's a JavaScript based viewer that helps to view PDF file in your web applications. Included in this package is also GrapeCity Documents for Excel.NET and Java. So GCExcel.NET and Java, these are our Excel APIs, helps to work with Excel documents, modify, save them back, convert them to other formats. Included with GCExcel.NET and GCExcel Java packages is GrapeCity Documents Data Viewer or GcDataViewer. It's our JavaScript based data viewer that helps to view data related files. GrapeCity Documents for Word or GC Word is also included in GrapeCity Documents. It is our Word API that helps to create Word documents, load existing documents, modify, save them back, and convert them to other formats. GC Imaging or GrapeCity Documents for Imaging is our imaging API, helps to load images, create images, and add a lot of image processing effects over the images. And included with GC Imaging is GrapeCity Documents Image Viewer, JavaScript based image viewer and editor to view and edit images. If you want to have a look on more details about these document APIs and viewers, please visit this link. So this is the agenda for today's webinar, and I will be covering major feature highlights in V6 release. In GCPDF, we have updated our existing GC HTML package that will help you to convert HTML to PDF and images without any dependencies. In GCExcel, we had introduced the concept of paginated spreadsheet reports in last release. Basically, it paginated the spreadsheet into various worksheets. We have added more API to this feature now, and you can accomplish more Excel layouts with this feature. In GC Word, we have added new enhancements to GC Word template, and you can conditionally show and hide blocks of data now, and add calculations to Word reports. In GC Imaging, we have introduced new concept of transparency layers, where you can modify a particular layer and merge the result into GC graphics object. In GC PDF Viewer, we have added new text markup annotations to review PDF documents. And in this release, we introduced two new controls: GrapeCity Documents Image Viewer or GcImageViewer, a JavaScript based image viewer to view and edit images, and GrapeCity Documents Data Viewer or GcDataViewer, a JavaScript based data viewer to view data files. Okay, starting with GCPDF new features. In this release, we have updated GC HTML package. We have removed the dependencies on Chromium build or requirements of GPL or LGPL licenses, and so this package will now work independently. It introduces two new classes: GC HTML Browser, which is the main license class, which represents a browser process such as Chrome, Edge, or Chromium browser, which is used to convert HTML to PDF, and or image, and a browser fetcher class that will find the path to the browser and download it from the Google server, such as Chromium browser. So it supports rendering URL or HTML string to PDF or images. There is no dependency on any Chromium build or licensed software, as I mentioned. You can use the same browser instance to render multiple pages, and you can modify or replace HTML page content. So in the code, you import the GcHTML package, download and run the browser using browser fetcher class, and then you instantiate an instance of GcHTML browser, pass that path into it, and then you set the URI to the HTML file which you want to convert, create a new page of HTML page type, and you pass that URI into it and set the various page options. For example, the window size. There are more options in this class to control the HTML page settings, and then you save that page, directly call save as PDF, and pass the file name. You can set various PDF options. For example, here we want the full page to be true, and your file gets converted to PDF. Now, this package has been updated in both our products, GCPDF as well as GCImaging. This is the online documentation of GCPDF, where if you go to this topic, you will find all the details related to the new package as well as in the product architecture. So this is GCImaging documentation. Here you will find how to create HTML, how to create a project that converts HTML to images from scratch, and it also will help you with tips to migrate your previous projects to the new project, how to map both the classes of the old package and the new package, so that you can conveniently convert your projects and update them to use the new packages. And this is our online sample browser for GCPDF. We have a similar one for GCImaging. Here you can find various samples implemented where the new package has been made use of to convert HTML to PDF or images. I want to share a particular demo where we have included the new package and we convert a web page to a PDF using various PDF options. So you get paths to a temporary file where the web page will be rendered, generate a URI to that web page. Basically, it's a source code of our existing demos. We want to convert that HTML file into PDF for long-term storage. We also define an image which will be used as a footer in the template. And we define certain PDF options using the new PDF options class within the new package. It has various API to set for the PDF, page ranges, page width, page height, margins, and we can set landscape to true or false. We can set whether to display header or footer to true or false. If you include the header or footer, then you can define the HTML code for both of them, and then we instantiate the browser instance and create an HTML page where you can pass the URI to the web page, create a new page within the browser instance, and then you convert that page, call save as PDF method, pass the temporary file where the page needs to be rendered, pass the PDF options, and generate the file. And this is how the converted PDF looks like. So as you see, this particular file that exists on the web has been converted to a PDF file, and this is how you can make use of the new package to convert HTML to PDF. Do have a look on the other samples and also GCImaging sample browser, where you can find the implementations of converting HTML to PDF and images using the new GcHTML package. Moving on to new features in GCPDFViewer. In this release, we have added new text markup tools. These are annotations in quick edit tools and annotation editor. So highlight, underline, squiggly, and strikeout annotations. These are the new text markup annotations with which you can now review PDF documents. So these options are also available via context menu. So if you select any text, these options would be visible in the context menu, from where you can choose the option and you can highlight text, or you can underline, or you can add a squiggly line, or you can also strike out. And there are also available list of colors which you want on the annotation. The button keys are available to add to the toolbar. You can enable or disable the context menu, as well as change list of colors that is available in the context menu through code. So this is our online sample browser for GcPDF Here you will find the new sample for text markup annotations. Let me make this full screen. So in this document, we have added various text markup annotations, highlight, squiggly, underline, etc. And each of these annotations are visible in the annotation editor, which you can go and individually open and set the properties in the property editor. For example, this annotation can be selected and the color can be changed from here. And additionally, as I mentioned, these annotations are all available in the annotation editor as well as in the quick edit tools from here. Also, if you select any text, these annotations are available in the context menu. From here, you can choose any annotation and any color which will be applied over the text. Moving on with new features in GCExcel. In last v5.2 release, we had introduced the ability to paginate your spreadsheets into multiple worksheets based on fixed number of rows displayed on a particular worksheet, grouped by a certain record. So we had introduced template options.pagination mode, a boolean property, which if set to true would paginate your report based on fixed number of lines provided by count per page property. So if this property is defined for a detailed row, then after a certain number of rows, which is 10 over here, after 10 number of rows, this whole spreadsheet would paginate into another worksheet, and so on for this particular patient. After all the pages for this particular patient are displayed, then the report would paginate into another worksheet that will be for a different patient name. Now in V6, we take this further and introduce some more layouts that can be accomplished with new set of properties. You can now configure header footer for a page or a group in these kind of reports, and you can choose to repeat them or not repeat them for every worksheet. You can paginate your spreadsheets based on the page size. Here it is being paginated by a fixed number of rows. If you don't provide this property CP, then your spreadsheet would paginate based on the page setup properties of your Excel file. And then you can also add page number or page count for different groups. Let's see in detail how all these layouts can be created. So in V6, you can configure header or footer for a paginated spreadsheet, either for a page or a group. New properties have been introduced to accomplish layouts like these. So repeat type, repeat with group, no repeat action. These are the three properties to create layouts with page headers or group header or footer. Here the property repeat with group is introduced, which can work with both count of rows as well as page size. In this kind of layout, it will work only for count of rows. If a CP property is set for a detailed row. Now repeat type for a certain page header information. For example, here the group is from A6 to I8. For this particular group, if you set repeat type to first page, then this information or page header will appear only on the first page and will not be repeated on the second page. The repeat type property actually specifies how to repeat a cell value within a group. When this repeat with group property is specified, the enum values are first page, last page, or per page. So you can choose to display it per page, or only on the first page, or only on the last page. Repeat with group property, here you specify the cell reference in the template that repeats with a group in the generated report. In this layout, Repeat with group is set to a patient ID. So all this page header would appear for this particular patient ID and would reappear when the patient ID changes. As you see on page number 5, the new patient ID appears and information for that patient is displayed in the page header. So with properties like these, you can accomplish this kind of a layout. Another property is no repeat action. In this property, you can set how to set the deletion mode for the common content when it is not displayed on the current page. For example, here you had set the repeat type as first page. So this information, patient and specimen would only appear on the first page. But if you want that on the next page, when this header does not repeat, those number of rows should not appear blank. You can set no repeat action to delete rows, which means that those blank rows would be deleted and the rest of the content will shift upwards. As you see in this particular layout, these rows are left blank because we have not set that property. So with this property, you can control how to display these rows, either to delete the rows or to delete the columns and so on. So this also is a kind of layout you can accomplish with new property introduced in V6. So in a layout like this, where you are defining fixed number of rows, you can also define the page number to get the current page of the group and page count, which will give you the total number of pages in a particular group. So for example, we have one patient ID for which the information flows from page 1 to page 4. So we can define page number, new property, and provide the cell for which you want the current page number, because as per that cell the whole report would be paginated into different groups. And you also define page count and pass the similar cell into it. So for this patient ID there are 4 pages here, and the total count of that group, the number of pages in that group is 4 and the current page is 1. So these are some additional properties that have been introduced, which you can use in a layout like this to get page number and page count of particular group. Now another kind of layout that we support in V6 is the ability to paginate the spreadsheets based on the page size, and this page size is defined in the page setup of your Excel file. So if you see here, if you do not specify the count per page property, then this report would paginate after the page size is reached, and a report like this will appear. In this kind of layout now, we introduce 3 new properties. One is repeat output, one is keep together, and attach to. Here also repeat with group property can be used, which works with the page size. So in this case, the maximum number of lines depend on the paper size, and it would paginate based on page setup of the Excel file. Repeat output property. In this property, we can specify whether the value of the merged cells should appear only on the first page or it should appear on each of the report. As you see here, we set repeat output to true. When it is true, this text would appear on every page wherever this information would flow. Otherwise, it would not repeat. So this is how you can control this display of merged cell values. Another layout that we can accomplish is through keep together. So if you want that the cell and its descendants should appear on the same page together, it will allow you to choose to keep the cells together with horizontal pagination or a vertical pagination. In this kind of layout, we have set keep together to vertical, which means that when it is set to vertical, then all the information of the product would appear together, while if not set, then it would be split into different number of pages, as you see here. And there is another property attached to, which means that it allows binding a cell template with another cell to ensure that it does not appear alone on a page. In a catalog like this, where we want the description, price, and available variants and the reference code all should appear together, you can set attached to property for particular cells with which you want to stay together with reference to some other cell, then we set attached to property to D6, which means that it will always appear with the property defined here, with the text defined here. So if you see here, when this property is provided, then all the description, price, and available variants and reference code, this all appears together. If it is not provided, then you see that this gets split while the other contents are displayed on the other page. So even these kind of layouts you can now accomplish using the new API. Moving on with new features in GcWord. In GcWord templates, you can now define conditions to show or hide a block or multiple blocks of data. If, else, and end if statements have been introduced. These statements can be added in your Word reports, and based on some condition check, they can help to display a block of data or to hide the data. This condition is a set of template value operands combined with arithmetic or logic operations. You can also use text functions within these statements to check for some values and to check for some conditions. In this example, you see this is an XML file with which this Word report is bound, and there are different data fields defined here. So at runtime, this will be filled with data. If you want to display retainer information based on pay retainer field, and if it is 1, you can check if it is 1, you show this block of data, otherwise you do not show it. So this is how you can show or hide multiple blocks of data using if else statement. Previously, HBI statement had to be used with each of the block of data. So if there is a lot of information, you can show or hide it all at once. So this is our online sample browser for GcWord. Here different samples are added to demonstrate new V6 features. So if you see this sample if starts with, this sample will check for the C names which start with S and then display in the Word report. So in the code behind, when you define the whole data, here you can set a check of if statement within the Word report, and you can use text functions to check the values of the data fields. Here it checks whether the particular data field starts with S. If it starts with S, then you display this block of data, end it with end if statement, and if not, then those won't be displayed. This is how you can use this if, else, and if statements. And have a look on the sample browser to check out more feature samples in V6 release. Another feature that we have added to GcWord report templates is the ability to add calculations to your Word reports. You can now use new calc expression to add calculations. This expression would calculate the inner expression and write the result as output. You can use it either without tag or with single or multiple data sources. You can use it with text functions, aggregate functions, operators, or arithmetic operations. These are the different ways where you can make use of the calc function. As you see over here, this is an invoice report which displays list of products. So you can calculate the total amount of the invoice by using the aggregate function sum and the calc expression. This sum will act over ps.total data field, and then it will calculate the sum of all the product prices. So you can find more sample implementations in our online sample browser related to this feature. For example, in this sample, you can use the calc expression with the operators. So if you see in the code behind, you can use this expression with the bound data fields using the arithmetic operators. And if you want to use aggregate functions, that's also possible. You can use these aggregate functions and then enclose the data field within the brackets. You can also use this expression to perform some arithmetic operations like addition of the data bound fields, subtraction, multiplication, etc. You can also use calc expression with text functions. There are many text functions which you can apply with the data fields. So if you want to concatenate three data fields, you can use concat function and close the other data fields within the brackets and use the calc expression. And here you see this is the result. So you see these three words have been concatenated using the calc expression, and similarly you can apply these text functions with the calc expression and achieve the results like these. Another new concept we have introduced in GC Graphics is that of transparency layers. It will enable an application to apply a group of operations and merge those operations over the image with certain opacity. For example, you want to work with a particular layer, modify it, apply some properties, and merge it back to the same image. So you call the push transparency layer method. This layer would help to modify a layer, apply some drawing operations, and when you have applied all the operations, you can call pop transparency layer method. This will merge all the changes back to the GC Graphics drawing surface. In this example, there's a rectangle which has been filled with certain kind of color, and you draw that rectangle with certain opacity. Now, if you want to work with part of that rectangle and modify the appearance into some other with some other properties, you call push transparency layer method, clip that rectangle and pass the opacity parameter, and then you fill it with some other color like a green color, and then you draw that rectangle and over the same image. You can also add text onto this image, apply some properties, and when the entire operations have been done, then you call pop transparency layer. So all those operations will be now merged onto the drawing surface of GC Graphics object. So we are excited to announce a new control in this release, GrapeCity Documents Image Viewer or GcImageViewer. It's a JavaScript based image viewer and editor. It can help to view images of multiple formats and edit them or work with them. You can load images of multiple image types, and all the popular image formats are supported in this image viewer. You can use many viewer features to view the images as per your convenience. There are different page tools available which can help you rotate the image, flip the image horizontally, vertically, crop or resize images. You can apply filters to the images, as you know that no image is perfect and you need an image editor to apply different filter effects, and later on you can upload it on your portals. There is a plugin support using which you can add more features to the image viewer, more editing features. It has a responsive UI, a detailed client-side API to work with images, and you can download the edited image on the client side. It's a cross-platform solution, can work on various platforms, various OS. It is supported in all popular browsers, and in all the major web frameworks this image viewer would work. It is available either through npm. You use this command to install GcImageViewer in your application, or you can download it from GC Imaging package available on the website, and this is the link to its demos. So you see here you can zoom in, zoom out image, you can rotate the image, then we have the flip tools that can help to flip horizontally or vertically. You can also crop the image as per your convenience. There are also image filters you can apply, and various effects can be applied on the image. If you do not like any of the effects, you can also undo, redo operations within the image viewer. You can also resize the image, provide the dimensions, your image would be resized, and later on you can download this image. All right, moving on. So in this release, we also introduce a new JavaScript based client-side viewer. It's called GrapeCity Documents Data Viewer or GcDataViewer. If you're looking for a unified solution to view data-related files, this is the viewer for you. It supports Excel, CSV, and spread.json files. And you do not now have to install third-party softwares to view files of specific formats. You can go with this viewer that can help you view data files of multiple formats in read-only mode. This viewer comes with a number of viewer features which help to enhance the viewing experience of your data file. It supports extensive Excel features, CSV options, has a responsive UI. You can work with it on any device. It's a lightweight viewer. It has simple syntax and it can be easily integrated into your application. Has an extensive client-side API. It can help you to perform various operations when you view data files in the viewer. It is supported in all major OS, and it can work in all modern browsers like Edge, Chrome, Firefox, Opera, and Safari. And it can be conveniently embedded in major web frameworks. You can install this control directly from npm using this command in your application, or you can download it with GCExcel.net and Java packages. And this is the link to the demos. You can have a look on various features supported in this viewer. So this is the control. Here you can open any data related file using this open file button. Browse your file, and then you can specify the data type. So all the options related to that data type would appear. And when you load that file, suppose you load a file, XLSX file with groupings applied, you can control whether to show row and column groups or not. Here both are enabled, so all the groupings are displayed here in row and column groups, and you can expand and collapse rows and column groups. And if you want not to display row groups, you can deselect this option, and it will not show you the row groups. If you have a file with filters applied, but you want to show all the filtered data, then this file will show you the filtered data with filtering applied. If you do not want to show the filters and you want the entire data to be displayed, you can deselect this option and it will show you the entire data. Similarly, there are other features supported. For example, if you want to show if you do not want to show hidden files, deselect that option and it will not show you the additional files, additional hidden worksheets. But if you want to show those worksheets, just select this option and all the worksheets in the Excel file would be displayed. You can apply various themes to the viewer and work with your files. And you can also zoom in or zoom out your data file. So this is our online sample browser for GcDataViewer. You can have a look on various file formats that are supported in this viewer, how they can be opened through code behind or through the UI. There are various options that are supported with the files that are loaded into the viewer. You can also run multiple data viewer instances within an application, and there are options to customize the built-in themes or the UI of the viewer, and there are also reference samples that can work in various web frameworks. With this, we come to the end of this webinar. Hope you enjoyed the new features part of this release. Please go through these blog links to know more about the details of these features. We have also added additional features in our APIs. And if you have any feedback, please share at this address. Thank you.